Welcome back to the 8:30 show. Thank you for all the views and all the likes and the comments. Some hate, some not, but whatever. I don't care. Thank you anyway.
We're grateful. Thank you for watching, whether you liked it or not. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
We are
We do.
grateful.
We do appreciate it. And again, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the subscribes and
Yeah,
the likes and the shares and all that good stuff. It really is appreciated, and it keeps us motivated to keep going forward. Um, so, with that being said, I want to talk to you about what was going on this week, which was pretty funny. Not funny, but it was funny. It did have some comedy in it. Is with the DJ Envy from 105.9 Power in New York.
yeah. I saw something on it on social media. I started to watch it, the
Mhm.
beginning of it, the very few first few seconds, but I didn't have the time in the moment to watch it, and I completely forgot about it. So enlighten me.
So Tyrese came up and to the show to do an interview. I think he's on a press run. Maybe has some new music. I'm not sure, or promoting something. Usually
Yeah, yeah.
that's when they go up there is to promote something.
Okay.
Or you may just have gone up there just to say hello.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, DJ Envy and his wife, there was some infidelity issues in their marriage, and Tyrese stepped in. I don't think they really knew each other than knowing each other in the industry.
Yeah.
He stepped in to kind of help them fix their relationship and maybe not get a divorce.
Yeah.
They have a few kids,
Yeah.
and I guess it worked out. His wife and DJ Envy were on board with it, and I guess whatever Tyrese was telling them, it was effective in their relationship.
Okay.
But then it came to the point where, as we all know, with Tyrese, he had his outburst and he was like, what more do they want from me? And it's come out by him that he was on psych meds and all that time in that time frame, that whole time he was on these psych meds for whatever reason, and it caused him to do things that he didn't realize he was doing, to be on social media doing things like that he didn't realize
That's
he
not
was
good.
doing. And apparently, from what DJ Envy says, is he got a little disrespectful in text messages between him and his wife. I don't know if it was DJ Envy and his wife, but based on what I
Who
was
is
listening to,
he?
who?
You said he.
Tyrese.
Got it.
Tyrese. Um, I guess he got a little, you know, I don't know, maybe a little too comfortable, a little bit too familiar, or maybe he just said something disrespectful. I mean, he said that he's on apology campaign, trying to mend the bridges that he messed up during the time that he was on his psych meds. That
And was
he
he? Do you, sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry.
No.
I
What were
was
you
gonna
saying?
say. Do you know if he was on his meds at that point in time when that happened with them?
So no, it wasn't. He wasn't on psych meds during the time, according to him. According to him, his timeline,
Mhm.
when that did happen, when he stepped in to help them with their marriage, he was completely
Clean.
sane and sound.
No, I get that. I'm talking
And
about when he stepped. He crossed the line.
according to him, and the time frame that DJ Envy was talking about when they
Yeah.
had their conversation, on air, yes, that was around the time he was on his psych meds. He also said, got a little disrespectful with Charlemagne, and Charlemagne basically told him to go. I think he told him to go suck a dick. I'm not sure, or fuck off, or something like that.
Okay.
And you know,
So let me just clear it up real quick because I'm still trying to understand.
hmm
So during that time when he was talking to DJ Envy, or not, to his wife, to Envy's wife,
hmm
he was on the meds.
correct.
Okay. And he, in that time as well, he went after Charlemagne and said whatever, and Charlemagne responded with "go suck a dick,"
Yeah,
right?
or go
So
fuck
but
yourself.
this
Yeah,
is all through those meds.
Yeah, and it was all
Got
text
it.
messages. Um, according and Charlemagne said that he had ended up speaking with Tyrese after the fact, and they mended their relationship, and he
Yeah.
told him like, I was on these psych meds. Tyrese has come out and said multiple times that he's a person that doesn't do any kind of drugs whatsoever. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. The only thing that he does do is hookah, which is nothing. So it's like tobacco. Um, but he doesn't do anything. He whatever for whatever reason he was prescribed these psych meds. I don't know his medical history on that regard,
Okay.
but whatever reason he took the psych meds, because he has kind of a clean system in that regard, the psych med concoction, um,
Really took effect.
correct, and really screwed up his whole situation.
No, I could see that happening because um, if you're someone that doesn't take something, anything they give you is gonna it's gonna work,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's gonna work a little too well.
yeah,
I've
and,
seen it, so
yeah, and what I've heard is from just hearing stuff online from not just whatever psych meds he was taking, but
yeah.
just that they have to. It's not the prescription isn't you get prescribed and we're done. Take these and you're good to go forever. It's kind of one of those things where you get prescribed the psych meds and then they have to kind of fine tune it for
No,
you
I get that. Yeah,
as you
yeah,
go,
yeah.
because some people have different reactions. They're just different reactions to it. Some may not work this way, and they have to tone it up or they take it
I get
down because
that.
it's too strong
Yeah.
for them. So he's kind of saying that, and that whole time when he said, that what else do they want from me?
Really, babe. Come on.
That was during the psych med
Like I think
stuff.
the man has been through enough.
Well, on the Breakfast Club interview, he even joked about that.
Yeah,
So
that's I
well,
don't find
so
it.
anyway,
Mental health is not funny.
it's
So
not, but that was funny.
okay.
That whole meme run was funny. It was.
All right.
So he goes on to elaborate about that even him saying that he was going to call the Smiths and this and that. He said that when the Smiths woke up the next day, they were bombarded by all these text messages and notifications about him saying that he's going to call Will to borrow 5 million and this and that. Yeah, like he said, he was just off the rails, just unhinged from these psych meds that he had no idea
Man, that's
what he was doing in that regard.
yeah, I get that.
Um, and then so taking it back to DJ Envy, he went on to say that he got disrespectful, and he felt that him and his wife felt that he crossed the line and was was disrespectful. Whatever the disrespect was, how that transpired, that's on them.
Yeah.
So DJ Envy in this interview, he basically told him that at the time that this happened, that he wanted a fair one. He wanted to get his squabbles on with Tyrese because of it.
So
Uh,
instead of being a man about it and talking about it, he wants to fight him.
at the time that this first occurred,
Got it.
when it first occurred, when you first hear something, and
No, I get it. You
yeah,
get angry. You're in the moment.
hmm
It's not like I get it. I get it because I'll put hands on somebody if it's
yeah,
if it pisses me off enough. If
it,
I allow
yeah.
myself to get pushed in that direction. Yeah.
And it wasn't until after the fact where he kind of took a step back and thought about it. And again, no, he didn't know. No one knew. We don't know someone's medical history
No, absolutely.
unless they put it out there, and he
Okay,
didn't know
so what
about that
happened on the podcast?
on the so they had that conversation,
Uh huh.
and he was trying to explain to DJ Envy point of view and his perspective on um, what happened, and he was telling him like, look, in so many words, I'm gonna paraphrase the shit out of this. If you want to go see it, go look at the Power 105.9 Breakfast Club interview with Tyrese, and you can get that firsthand knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
word for word. But I'm gonna paraphrase it because I just don't remember every word.
Okay.
So in so many words, Tyrese told him, "I'm on this apology tour. I'm trying to mend bridges. I said a lot of things that were to people that were offensive. I'm trying to repair all that. Some people they don't care. Some people are like, okay, we understand. I get it, but you you really got to do something here. I
Yeah.
need an apology."
Yeah.
Um, and that's what he was saying that he was doing. He didn't know that there was a issue between him and DJ Envy. DJ Envy said that he had blocked him for a while, and his wife blocked him, and he didn't want to see him in that light. He didn't like the way it made him feel, how Tyrese disrespected him in whatever form he felt he did,
Yeah.
him and his wife, and he wanted to remember Tyrese as the person who helped save his marriage. And that's so he said, "Look, I'm just going to pull away. I'm going to step away from it." According to DJ Envy, he didn't know when Tyrese did finally come out publicly and say he was on all these psych meds. According to DJ Envy, he didn't know that he was on the psych meds. He didn't know it apparently until the interview that took place, which I find hard to believe because not only did they do press runs about Tyrese and his breakdowns and this whole thing, and that him later coming out saying I was on these psych meds, please, everyone forgive me. Don't hold me accountable to this. I had no idea what was going on. I'm finding all these things out as I'm coming off of these drugs, and these things are leaving my system and my head is becoming clear, you know. But DJ Envy is saying that he didn't know anything. He basically said he found out there. You know what I mean? Like this is all brand new information, which I find hard to believe. I mean, I knew it was he was on psych meds, not at the time that he had the
And you
breakdown.
don't know Tyrese.
Well, yeah,
No, hold on. You don't know Tyrese and you knew
yes,
this information. How you, as a celebrity who runs a podcast or has a
on the
podcast
radio.
on the radio, whatever,
Hmm.
I don't listen to them. You do. That's your,
No, I get it, but I'm
you
just saying
watch them.
they
I
are on the
don't,
radio.
yeah, no, I understand. But how do you not know that? Like, but whatever. He says he doesn't know. He didn't know.
Correct.
Whatever.
So I'm gonna take his word for it. I don't know the man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the man. To question his
My
word,
face is saying otherwise.
I don't believe it. I really
Yeah,
don't believe
I
it. But
don't.
until
You're the
otherwise,
one that told me about Tyrese being on meds and that's why he was like
well,
flipping out or
yeah,
whatever.
he came out and Tyrese came out
So
himself and made a
it's
public
hard
statement.
to believe that. I'm sorry, but it is. It's
Yeah.
hard to, but who the fuck cares, right?
And I know it was covered on multiple media outlets that now that we know why he had this whole meltdown on live and
Yeah.
on social media platforms is
Yeah.
because of this reason, and I get it.
Okay. Okay.
So the fact that he says that it doesn't make any sense to me, but
Okay, but
whatever.
whatever. And I mean, it's
So
I'm assuming Charlemagne knew,
well,
you
they were
know.
writing editorials, and of course he knew. They were writing editorials from the time that he came out and said, "What more do
So
they want from me?"
it's
Until
okay.
then, yeah.
So I have a theory, but I want you to continue so I know all of the information before I throw my little theory out there.
Yeah. So, in this conversation that Envy and Tyrese are having, Envy goes on to say, "I wanted to box your mouth,
Okay.
either slap it, hit it,
Yeah,
I don't know,
whatever.
whatever,
You wanted to
whatever."
punch him in the fucking
Yeah.
face.
But
Yeah.
they kind of when that happened, they kind of were like, "Oh, wait, hold on,
I think
grown
it got
men."
they was like it was the old west stare down.
Well, yeah, it was
And
kind of a
that's
shock
kind
and awe
of
thing. Yeah.
that's kind of because I saw that piece where
Hmm.
he was like, I wanted to pop you in the mouth or something. He
Box your
said,
mouth.
whatever.
Hmm.
And they just kind of, Tyrese just kind of looked at him. It was the whole, old west. Who's drawing the gun
Yeah.
first? But that's when I had to stop it.
So yeah, so he tells him that, and the whole scene changes, and they're like, hey, wait, not violence, not violence. But
Yeah.
Envy was saying, no, 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 we're having a conversation. This is how I felt. I wanted to box him out, whatever he means by
Yeah.
that. Um, and goes on to say that this is we blocked you, we stopped talking to you because of these
Okay.
reasons. And then Tyrese is like, I he didn't now the thing that I don't know if he did in the end of the the show or not, but for me it was like, where's your apology? And then the apology that he gave, or the apology that he was starting with, it wasn't really to me an apology. It was kind of like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm apologizing to everyone that I offended. It was, you know what I
So it
mean?
wasn't an apology, and maybe I feel like he didn't apologize because he came at him the way he came at him on there.
Well, Tyrese said he wanted to clear the air. At that point,
Yeah,
that's how
but
it is. Yeah.
like, let me clear the air. Don't talk about being violent with me
Hmm.
unless after the fact, after everything is said and done. And why do it on the air for DJ Envy? I know what Tyrese is trying to do. I'm not defending him.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, like he says, he's on a whole, apology tour.
Yeah.
But DJ Envy, knowing that he was going to be on the show, should have set him aside. Like, look, I didn't like what happened. Let's talk about it here right now, and then we can discuss it on air.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a little saboteur, you know? Just
Well, I mean,
saying. That's what it sounds like. I
I,
don't
I
know.
maybe it was just they maybe that it happened to wait for good content. Sometimes that's what it is.
So,
So
what
anyway,
do they call that? Clout chasing.
yeah.
Mm.
So going back,
Yeah.
so they had their interview again. I didn't finish the interview because I just couldn't.
Okay.
I ran out of time doing
Yeah.
other things, and I couldn't watch it. But I watched probably 90% of it,
Okay.
and that was kind of the gist of it. It was going back and forth, back and forth. Tyrese was kind of asking like, "What did I say?" And he's kind of like, kind of misdirecting what he said. He's not really giving him, an answer on what, like, he's trying to figure it out because he says, I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't understand. I'm trying to understand.
Okay.
So then he leave. That's the show, as far as I know.
Okay.
Um, the next thing that comes up on my radar is Tyrese has, as he says, I have receipts.
Oh, Lord.
So then
Que
Tyrese,
tanto con los
yeah.
receipts.
So Tyrese has the receipts. So now Tyrese is now, doing a post, a vlog, whatever, a live, whatever you
Mhm.
want to call it. He's doing that, saying, "Look, here is the time frame from the last time I talked to him. DJ Envy said that they blocked me a couple of months ago, unblocked me a couple of months ago, but and blocked me a couple, whatever the time frame that
Whatever.
they said in the interview."
Mm-hmm.
But then Tyrese goes and shows like, "Well, I was talking all this time and I wasn't being blocked." But here's the thing that I kind of side with DJ Envy on, um,
Okay.
a little bit with when it comes to the disrespect. Um, he started showing all these text messages,
Uh huh.
and the text messages are between him and his wife.
Okay.
And I don't see it like a group text. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
could be. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's a text to him and his wife. Said and then he would say that he would talk to his wife over the phone.
Okay.
DJ Envy would be in the bed next to her.
Okay.
And to me, um, when you're a married couple and you have another man calling,
Yeah.
a straight man
Yeah.
calling and texting you,
Why you
and
gotta say it like that though? A straight man.
because I got to.
Because of my gaze.
No, I just got to. I got
All right.
and you have another man texting your wife or calling your wife
Yeah.
all hours of the day,
Mm-hmm.
doing all these text messages. Again, they're not like homies from the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
sandbox. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're not that. It's so yeah. I can see. I feel like it wasn't so much disrespect at what Tyrese was saying because based on those text messages that Tyrese was showing, yeah, his wife was only dropping like one line, two line responses back,
Yeah.
But Tyrese is like, check out my Bentley. I know Envy likes cars. I just bought this private island.
Okay, so
You know,
he
he was
you
stunting on her
so you feel like he was being disrespectful
to
to.
not to his wife, but to DJ Envy for having conversations with his wife on multiple occasions. You know what I
I
mean?
hear
As
you.
a married man.
No, I totally get it, but
Mhm.
what I have to say is, you said infidelity. Who was cheating on who?
So the story goes,
Yeah,
DJ Envy was cheating on his wife with Erica
Mena,
Mena. Yes.
Mena.
So again, it's alleged. I don't know 100%. Don't come suing me for it. I
No,
have.
I know.
I'm just saying this is what
Okay,
I heard in the rumor
so
mill.
hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay, um, maybe he wasn't well, but at the same time, like, if you as a married man don't
Mhm.
have respect for your wife,
Mhm.
how do you expect any other man to respect your marriage when
Mhm.
you yourself don't respect it?
Mhm.
So,
I.
I hold on.
Uh huh.
I get where he's coming from. It
Yeah.
is disrespectful.
Yeah.
But again, you already let everybody know, especially him cuz he helped you save your marriage, that you don't respect your marriage.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can see why it kind of went down like that. Again, it's not right. I'm not saying what Tyrese did is right, but at the same time, you know,
Well,
it's kind of expected when you don't respect your marriage. What makes you think anybody else is?
you have a point, and to that point, I look at it like this.
Yeah.
If she wanted to get back on him and say, well, you got yours and I got mine, so this is my hall pass. You can't. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Yeah, now from here, from this point on, we're gonna work on this and
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
good. But I got mine. Just
No, she
remember.
forgave him, moved on.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is, if that's the way she's looking at it, or he's looking at it, like, I'm not trying to give you a hall pass so you can have sex with sexual chocolate who sings nothing but sexual music, you
Okay.
know, you're all glistened and
All
greased
right,
up
all
in all
right.
the videos. So I
Uh-huh.
feel like I feel one that DJ Envy may have been a little bit jealous, and two, I see the disrespect in another man calling your wife. You know what I
I
mean?
see it too, but again, when you don't respect your own
Yeah.
marriage, what the fuck do you expect anyone else to do?
No, you have a valid point. And I'm not
You
disregarding
know,
that point.
I get why he's upset. He should be upset.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you should understand that dudes are going to come for your wife. When you didn't respect the marriage,
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, they're
Yeah.
not going to respect it for you.
Yeah.
And again, the man was not well. The
Well,
man was not well, according to the timeline. That's
well,
what I'm
according to
hearing.
these text messages he was having with,
Hmm.
I don't know. See, and that's the thing. I don't know if these additional text messages that he pulled up is when he was coming off of it or off of it.
Yeah.
But regardless, doesn't matter,
Yeah.
And because he went back, was like, he said it bothered him, the interview, and when he got back home, he was like, I love the internet, I love the cloud because everything is saved in there. So he went back into his archives to look to see what he said because from my understanding, DJ Envy didn't give him a real reason on what he had said, and that's one of the things he was looking for. Like, what did I say that was so bad?
Yeah.
Let me know, because if that's the case, I did not mean it.
Well,
But
sometimes you just gotta accept that people don't want to fuck with you.
that too, that too.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
When someone just cuts you out,
Yeah.
just accept it.
Cut your losses.
Yeah,
Cut your
like,
losses.
I get it. You like them, they were cool, all of that, but sometimes it's, you're just not a part of their life.
Yeah.
You don't fit in, with their life goals and how you are or whatever, move on.
Yeah. So so that video comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that rebuttal, and then you have another video follow up by DJ Envy. This time he calls his wife. Now I didn't watch that. I only watched a couple of minutes of it. I had more
Wait,
important things.
Tyrese called his
No,
Envy's
DJ
wife.
Envy called his wife to say like to basically co-sign that she felt it was disrespectful, but again, she didn't say what it was. She didn't want to go into it. She just kind of was like, "Yeah, it was a little disrespectful and blah blah blah," but not what it was. Now,
Are we in junior
yeah,
high?
I don't see the point on having your wife come out and say it was disrespectful, and then she doesn't even want to talk about
Say
what
what
it
it
was.
was.
Now I can see that he may not say it, but he's saying that she said this. It's a lot of he say she say, a lot of 12th grade high school back and forth banter between these grown ass people that have kids that are, I don't know. It's all very mind numbing for me. But that was the thing.
That was the gist,
Yeah,
basically. Tyrese is on a what is it? Apology tour.
yeah.
He went and tried to apologize to DJ Envy,
DJ Envy and his wife ain't fucking with him.
and they're not fucking with him,
Hmm.
and they feel he crossed the line,
Hmm.
which it sounds like he did.
Hmm.
Um, and that's he's trying to clear it up
Hmm.
because he doesn't understand what he did wrong.
Hmm.
But they just it sounds like they just don't want to fuck with him, and
Ultimately,
mm,
yeah,
and he needs to let that go. But you know what? I don't know this man. I don't know these people. They're gonna do what they're gonna
yeah,
do. But again, I have to say, if you disrespect your wife, what makes you think any of your friends are gonna respect your marriage? If you disrespect the marriage, what makes you think that one of your guy friends is gonna respect it for you? Like some dudes are,
dirty.
yeah,
Well, I don't think, honestly, I don't really think that they were friends like that, and I think that they were on the way to be friends like that. They,
yeah.
he gave them that extra amount of respect because he was like, he did look out for me,
He
type of
took it a
thing.
little too far.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's kind of gist of it. It's very interesting, very, very interesting
I
on
just
both
don't
ends.
understand why this is all public. I mean, I don't
Got to get them
understand.
clicks, got to get them likes.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's public though. Like, why is that? That's embarrassing. I don't want to know about DJ Envy fucking somebody else and cheating on his poor wife. You
Hmm.
know, now I look at him different, and I'm gonna always look at him different now. But who cares, right? Who the fuck am I? But
And
at the
then
same
Tyrese
time,
in there sliding in with the baby
and
oil. Sweet
Tyrese.
lady.
But again, my thing is, why is this being aired? Like that should not have been aired. But you're right, likes and clicks and all that drama, you
Hmm.
know. But it just
Slow
no.
week, Tyrese was there and he had a chip on his shoulder about it. That's how I look at it.
Well, I hope they can work it out.
I
I
do
really
too.
do because he helped him with his marriage,
I
and this was just a bump in the road for him. Like he was suffering through something, and he's all better now, and he's trying to fix these issues. I just don't. Again, I have to say I don't understand why it was on air that this came out.
yeah,
But we've seen crazier shit on air.
yeah. And I do hope that they all are able to reconcile and move forward. Whatever relationship can be salvaged from it be salvageable.
Yeah.
Um, these are two grown men, and a grown woman.
Hmm.
There is a family with children involved,
Yeah.
on both sides. So I do hope that they can fix and mend their relationship to whatever degree it's going to be.
Good luck with them.
Yeah, yeah. I
Or
always,
good luck
you know
to
me.
them.
I always wish people well. I don't want to see people stumble and fall. And then when they do stumble and fall, I do wish to see that they are able to pick themselves up and move forward and learn the lessons that they should have learned by falling. Because if you haven't learned the lesson, then you're just doomed to repeat the same error of your ways. And it's all about growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, the thing that I've come to terms with is you gotta grow as an individual. I mean, I
Um,
can still go back to some fuck shit, if pushed the right way, but I'm trying to live a better life and be a better person and
I hear
actually
you.
mingle into society and be a positive person in society.
Yeah.
But I can still get on my fuck shit, so don't even get it twisted.
I mean,
Fuck
if
shit.
you if you allow someone to push you to that point, then
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta allow it though. You can't, no one's saying like envy should be a pushover. I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying like, it's up to you to what extreme you handle a situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets to the physical point, and other times it's just words.
I also agree with you where I think that this should have been talked about first off camera,
Correct. I really
and
do.
and then if they wanted to talk about it on air, then talk about it. But at
Yeah.
least each person knows what they're stepping into. To
Yeah,
me, it
for
seemed
sure.
like Tyrese was going in there thinking he was going to have, a good time with friends
A good conversation,
yeah,
some apology. And that's the messed up part about thinking that something before it
hmm,
happens, because it doesn't always happen the way you think it is. Sometimes, yeah, you've seen it 1,000 times, you've done it 1,000 times, and it's going to be the same.
hmm,
But in other instances like that, he probably thought he was going in there, he's going to hang out with friends, he's going to
yeah,
apologize, Envy's going to be like, don't worry about it, we're good. And they weren't. And
hmm,
it was a slap in the face to him because he thought they were bigger than that and they were more than that. And eventually he found out that they weren't.
yeah,
And,
and that
hold,
is the
sorry,
bottom line.
that's what I mean by, a rude awakening for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people think that it happens to me. I'll go and I'll think like, oh God, I'm about to, be in some shit, and it's not actually some shit. It actually turns in my favor, and I'm just like, well, that was interesting. I didn't expect that to go down the way it did, but it did,
Yeah,
and I'm glad. And sometimes it's like, oh, it shouldn't be that bad. It's fine.
yeah.
Everything's fine. And then you go in and you're like, okay, it's not fine.
This is this
This
this is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. And you're just like, well, how the fuck am I gonna handle this?
Yeah.
So you never know. I think we all have expectations, some good, some bad. But yeah.
Well, like I try to tell people, never have expectations that it's going to be good. Let the expectation of it being good be the surprise, because when it goes to shit, that's when you're gonna be all Debbie Downer about it and like, oh, but if you don't expect it to be something great to begin with, and that's what I think Tyrese had in mind when he went there, like you
That's
said,
what I'm
like
saying. Yeah.
he went there to chop it up with friends. He didn't think that he did anything wrong. There was no underlying animosity, no, as we call it, secret hate. You heard it first on the 8:30 show.
Secret hate.
There was no secret hate, and next thing you know, he's like, "Hey, my man, what's going on? I haven't talked to you in a long time." And he was like, "Look, you know what? Fuck that. Box your mouth. You're disrespecting my wife. I'm gonna kick your ass. You get 5 minutes after the show.
Oh my
Wrap
God.
it up.
Um, yeah.
Bring the
It's
baby oil."
So you just mentioned something about like if it turns out good, that's the surprise.
Yeah,
Says the person who gives me a hard time, because when something happens, my initial thought, it's like it's going downhill, like it's bad. It's always bad. You're like, you're always negative. It's not that I'm negative. It's not. It's not that I'm negative. It's that that's how I prepare myself. Everybody has a way of dealing with things, and I prepare myself for the worst. And it's not that I'm putting it out there for it to be bad. It's that I'm preparing myself for the worst in case it actually does end up being that. I'm not surprised. When it ends up being great, I am surprised. So I had to say that part
Yeah.
because you're always down and you're always
Well, we
like
both
bringing
can't be down.
negativity. And I'm just like, it's not that I'm being negative, it's I'm being realistic because I am a person who is very open to all possibilities of many things. I can't just sit here and be like, oh, it's a straight line. It's a straight line, and that's how it's going to be. It's never going to split off. It's never going to turn. I don't think like that. I think to myself, well, shit, it could break off. It could make a left or a right, like it could change. It could turn into a fucking circle for all I know. I'm open to the possibility of anything, so I have to think of the worst case scenario first to prepare myself for that happening. I I had cancer and I thought to myself, well shit, is it how what stage is it at? Like what stage, and I was so desperate to find out what stage I was in because I wanted to know, well, how long do I have left? Like, am I gonna have to do chemo? Am I gonna have to do, um, what's the other one?
Radiation, surgery.
Tell me why I was gonna say radioactive.
I don't know. You need to stop smoking that shit,
Right?
maybe.
Radiation. I didn't know what it was gonna be. I didn't know what they were gonna tell me. I didn't know. I was 42 at the time, and I didn't know. And I was convinced that, I was convinced something was wrong to begin with before I even found out I had cancer. And he's like, it's probably nothing. Him and my doctor were like, you're young. I'm like, that has nothing to do with that. Like, anything can happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what age you are, right? But he was like, okay, let's go get it checked out, see what's going on. David's very supportive of everything with me. So we went, we did whatever. And at that point, I didn't know anything until I did a biopsy. And, the gyno was like, it could be, but I don't think it is. Again, with the words, you're too young. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Kids have cancer. What makes you think that at 42 I can't? And I had a friend who had breast cancer in her 30s. Like, come on. So, but and don't be deterred when they tell you, oh, you're too young. Don't fucking listen to them. I don't care if they are doctors. Like because they're doctors, they think they know it all and they think they're telling you something like preventing you. And what if you do listen to them and you did have cancer and then by the time they find it, it's fucking too far gone. Like that's insane to me. So I fought for myself and I got the biopsy done. She told me what could be, what could happen, and I thought worst case scenario, I have cancer. And he's like, don't think that. Like, it could be nothing. Like it could be like what she said, a polyp or whatever she called it. I think that's what it was. And I was just like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And it turned out to be cancer. Now she couldn't tell me what stage I was at until the oncologist went in and did his thing, and they moved really fast with me. I was booked within the month and he saw me within the week and they did all the tests within the next week and it was fast. And this is during COVID. Um, and again, I'm still on worst case scenario. But it's because I'm preparing myself for what could be said. And when it finally came out after my surgery, because they had to remove it, he told me I wasn't even at stage one. It was barely, I caught it in the very beginning stages of it developing. That's how fast I caught it. So my body just was on top of things. My body was like, something's wrong, So before it gets worse, oh, 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 sorry.
So Yeah.
Yeah, so I prepared myself and thought about it, worst case scenario, and it ended up not being the worst case scenario, which was a big relief. And that's just how I dealt with it myself.
No, I get that. So yeah, I do understand what you're saying. But
Like
it is what it is.
it's not about negativity or anything like that. It's just I think some people prepare themselves, and it sucks when you go in there and you think like, oh, everything's fine, everything's gonna be good, and then you come out and or you go in and you end up finding out like,
It's all bad.
this dude's pissed at me and I don't even know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
And like I said, that could have been done on the side, but whatever.
Yeah, I think that I think that if he felt that kind of way, respect wise of Tyrese, he should have had that conversation off air, not that day. He should have did that way before.
But
Um,
I also feel like Envy was like, why should I respect him? He didn't respect my marriage. He didn't respect my wife. He could be thinking like that.
no, no, no. I hear you, but if he said that he stopped talking to him and backed away from him from all this because he respected basically how what he did for him and his wife for their marriage. So I feel
But not
like,
enough to not put him on air.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying.
That
Like
says a lot about him.
if it was if you did have an ounce, an iota of respect for him because of
Yeah.
what he did for you, I think he should have gotten the opportunity to speak to him off camera,
Yeah.
not make it something public.
Yeah, that
And
was.
if it does become something public and they want to talk about it, then have that conversation on air. But he kind of blindsided and railroaded him
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not condoning anything that Tyrese did. I'm not condoning anything that DJ Envy did. I'm just saying the way it was handled, I think could have been done better,
No, I understand.
with two grown men.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
It sucks, and I hope, like I said earlier, I hope they can work it out and move on.
Yeah. It doesn't
And
seem like it's getting worked out. It seems like it's just getting more and more. It seems
well,
like it's becoming more trash talk
I
between
mean,
the two.
honestly,
But
with the
whatever.
industry, we never know because it just came out like some shows coming out where they're outing Kim Kardashian about how but we all know this. Everybody knows that she wanted to be famous and she did whatever it took to get there and she made it happen. I think everyone knows this. I don't think this is news. It's just somebody that she trusted, a couple people that she trusted knew this and now they're speaking on it.
If it wasn't for Ray J, no one would know who she is.
Mm, yeah, I guess.
Let's keep it 100. If it wasn't, people knew who she was as far as she was a pretty girl hanging around Paris Hilton, and then
And her dad was Robert
yeah,
Kardashian.
and then they did a sex tape. I don't care who sold it, how they hooked it up. If the mother, was part of that deal, I don't care.
No, I get that.
The sex tape came out, and next thing you know, Seacrest had her on E.
Yeah. You know what I miss on True Hollywood Stories.
Yeah, I do remember those,
I
and I do
miss
miss those.
those.
But yeah, and then
Yeah.
Seacrest, he had her on E, and the show was a success, and
Yeah, I
they
watched it for a lot of seasons, but eventually it just
and it just kept on going and going and going and going, and these women capitalized on it, and I'm not hating
yeah,
on
I
their
mean, they
capitalistic.
made their money.
Yeah, I'm
Good
not.
for
I'm not
them.
hating on that. And the mother is the one that spearheaded the
Yeah.
whole shibata.
Like I'm probably going to get shot for this, but I like the Kardashians. I like them, and I watch them and I really don't give a shit how they made their money because I'm not spending that money and I'm not buying their products, so I don't really give a fuck. I watched I don't anymore. But I watched their show when it first started coming out back in I don't know what year, and I think I stopped on the maybe ninth or 10th season. I really am not sure. because eventually I stopped watching because it was just not that interesting anymore. And
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna add to that what you were saying. I was like, I've seen it. I think everybody has seen the show. I wasn't a advocate fan to continue watching it. I have seen some episodes. I checked it out. I think as long as it ran on air, I think everybody checked it out and
Yeah.
to some degree, whether you
And
liked it
they
or
did
didn't like it.
they did funny shit on their show, and I liked it. It
Um,
was funny, and it
yeah.
was good. And I like fashion. Not that I'm very fashionable, but I do like fashion, and I like some of the stuff that they do, even though at times it seems like they're taking it from other people.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna knock them for their style. And a lot of people feel like they're what's that? Appropriating.
Yeah. Appropriating
And
culture, black culture,
I mean,
culture
I think
vultures.
I think a lot of people do it. You know, I,
Hello, there was a lady that tried to say that she made the bonnet. But anyway,
yeah,
again,
yeah,
to your point, I don't have any issues with any of it. I think that they need to. I think those gentlemen need to work it out.
yeah. Hopefully they will.
And if they can't work it out, then
Move on.
let's move on and let's get a celebrity boxing match going and get a pay per view and let's make some money on it. Both of you guys can get paid and people will tune in. I
Yeah, I
know I
guess.
will, unless it's on the Fire Stick.
Yeah,
So that's all I'm saying.
yeah.
If it's gonna be that bad, go have a boxing match and when it's done, and after
Let's
it's all
call
said
it.
and done, win or lose, you guys hug it out and call it a day and put it behind you and move forward.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about something else.
So what you got on your mind?
Smash and grabs. I've mentioned it in a few podcasts about that, but we didn't like go into it, and it's just becoming a daily thing. It seems now, where people are young people are running into stores and stealing stuff because it's because of that law, right?
Yeah, I don't know what law specifically. You guys can look it up. I
About stealing, and
yeah,
basically don't stop them, just let them do it,
yeah.
and all of that. And so far it has been happening almost on a daily basis.
Hmm.
And it makes me sad, to be honest with you, to see this, because I'm the age that I am, Gen X. We are Gen X, and that means that Gen Z is doing a lot of this stuff. And that means the Gen X parents are not parenting. And if these kids are doing what they're doing, now I'm not saying that crime doesn't happen. People don't commit crimes. People do shit, yeah. But to the extreme that it's happening now. But I have a theory.
Well, I'm not going to go as far as say that Gen X parents aren't parenting.
I do.
I'm going to go a different route on that, and I'm going to
Okay.
say these kids are just being kids and know that they can get away with it and are doing it because they know they can get away with it. Until they don't get away with it, then they'll continue.
Yeah.
If no one, if you can't have a law and not enforce it and think that everybody's going to abide by the law. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
People are going to break any law that like my uncle used to tell me. You can't enforce no one can you can't break a law if there's no one to enforce it. So,
No, I understand.
do I think that what they're doing is wrong? Yeah, absolutely. Stealing is wrong for what they're stealing. Now, if you're stealing for food to you're doing a smash and grab for food to feed yourself, I'm a little
I'm
indifferent on
skeptical
that.
on that, because they're catching people like that too. They're over here
Yeah.
taking all these ribs and steaks and all this fucking meat, and they're running out the store with it. Like, I could see one person with the steak in hand and potatoes in the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to eat today. But they're taking a full shopping cart of food and dumping it in their car, and at this point it's just too much. Like,
Well,
you're doing too much. But I have a theory, and this is my theory. My theory is that these people, not all of them, but some of them, are being paid to do this, run in these very expensive stores to steal these very expensive things so that these very expensive stores could claim it on these insurance companies and get their money back. That's my theory. And it's, maybe the greater picture is more than what I'm thinking, but that's what I think. I think that they're being hired to do this so that they can claim the insurance because a lot of people with money are fucking fraudulent as fuck and they know how to work the system.
I would not doubt it. That is a possibility. I don't disagree with that conspiracy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything to kind of support it in that regard, but hey, I don't hear everything. I don't see everything.
I
I do know
mean,
about the smash and grabs. I didn't even know people were stealing food, but
yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
I really don't have out of the grand scheme of things, people stealing for food, to feed themselves. I'm a little indifferent on that. I'm a
Yeah.
little indifferent on that because I don't like seeing people go hungry. I don't like seeing people without food.
Yeah, I get that.
Um, I think that I feel it's not even that I think I feel that everybody has the should have the opportunity to eat.
No,
Especially
absolutely, but that's not what's
hold
happening.
on, especially in a first world country like the United States, we shouldn't have a hunger issue here. We shouldn't have a homeless issue here, but we do have these things, and to me, it's upsetting. But whatever,
I
now
mean,
I guess they're gonna try and solve it with cloned food, with the
well, look
cloned
at
meat.
San Francisco. You can't even leave your car
Hmm.
on the street because there's someone already there smashing your shit. They're leaving their cars open
Yeah, so they
so
don't
they
break the
don't
window.
break the windows. How fucking sad is that? And why are they not being caught? Because it's okay. Now, stealing from a store, if you want to steal from the store, and California said it's fine, but now you're stealing personal property.
Hmm.
Where does that is that still within that law that they passed? Like, I can't do
I don't know
anything
if it's a law
about,
100%.
hold on,
So
I can't do anything about my personal property that they've invaded my space and gone and took my shit. Like, it's just fucking sad. And San Francisco is such a beautiful city. And for it to be this fucking bad, it's fucked up. Like, why are we living in this type of society? Last night we went out. We went out, and as we're driving through Hollywood, I'm seeing empty buildings, empty offices, like all these empty spaces and for lease, and everything is for lease. And I tell him, I'm like, did you notice all these buildings are like fucking empty? And he's like, yeah, that's what I was looking at. And I was like, yeah, me too. Like, and it's because people don't want to open up businesses because it's too fucking expensive. And then you got these fucking people stealing things out of your store. Who the fuck is going to want to open a fucking store? Like,
well, that's where it's going to become all online. You're not going to have any brick and mortar stores. And to me, that's more like what it's going to be than what you were saying, where it's going to be an insurance thing. I feel like everything is going to close up, and it's just going to be, you want to get this, whatever, you got to go
and the
online. And
billionaires are just going to swoop in and buy the land and turn it into some fancy schmancy. We're going to end up being fancy schmancy California, Southern California. It's already expensive as fuck out here, as everybody says that has fled, and it's super expensive. And you're just making it more. It's just making it worse.
so, yeah, back to the smash and grabs, and like I was saying with the food, I don't really have an issue with people stealing food. I know I should, but um, I just don't. If you're stealing to feed yourself, I really don't have, my morality won't let me do that. My grandmother raised us to feed people who are hungry. My grandmother used to feed the drug addicts in our neighborhood. She wouldn't give them money, but she would give them food. She always taught us that you don't have to give them money, but you can feed them. You can give them a plate of food. So I'm a little indifferent when it comes to stealing for food. You know what I mean? Stealing a TV, stealing other stuff, that ain't feeding you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can probably go and sell it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to stop until the stuff gets enforced. Companies probably really don't care because they're probably going to say, you know what, let's just move all this to online, and you know what's going to happen? People are going to lose their jobs. There's that people that work in those stores are going to lose their jobs because there's not going to be a brick and mortar store to go to. All you're going to have is the online experience, and now you're going to have more porch pirates stealing people's products off their porches that they get. You know, their Amazon, their
And
FedEx, their
before you know it, they're
UPS.
going to be stealing your fucking house
Yeah,
from under you
they
and
already
your
do that.
cars. And,
I mean, they're
like,
stealing catalytic converters, so
no, I know, but other than cars, I'm saying like they're gonna come into your fucking home and just take over and invade that shit. And so it's always something. It's always fucking something, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And no one's doing anything about it. They're just allowing it to happen. But there's a reason why they're allowing this to happen. What's that reason? Nobody knows. Again, back to my theory, I feel it has a lot to do with, fraud, whether it be an insurance scam or whether it be losing that property and no more stores.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
like some things, it's just what is it? It's a brewing.
well, that's why I'm a proponent for the Second Amendment. Go get yourself, like Nas said. I hope you got yourself a gun, and that's all I got for that.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad that we're living in this kind of world in this time. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been a big fan of shopping, like that. Like going into the store, trying shit on. It's boring. I buy online. I'm grateful for that, because I don't want to go into the store and be around a lot of people, especially after COVID. Again, I was very still kind of am not 100% willing to be out in the crowds like that. I'm just not, but I have to get back to life and get back to normal. But I don't really like shopping like that, going into the store unless I really, really have to. But also, it's an experience to go and buy things at the store. And a lot of people love doing it, getting out of the house. My sister in law and my niece, she takes my niece, who's going to be two, and they go shopping so that, she gets out of the house. They're both out of the house and doing something versus being in the house 24/7 because she's a housewife. So she doesn't want to be at home all the time, so they go out shopping, and that's being ruined. But nobody gives a shit, right? Like, not nobody, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people that are stealing shit and giving it away or selling it or whatever. And it's just fucking sad. Like, our world is turning upside down, and our government is untrustworthy. Our politicians are untrustworthy. The cops are untrustworthy. um it's like I'm losing faith in humanity. And it makes me sad because I grew up in a time where it wasn't like this, and I did enjoy going to the store with my parents to go shopping for school clothes and doing all of that, and we're robbing our youth. That's what we're really doing. We're robbing our youth of experiences. But, you know, as time goes on, we all have to evolve. And we evolved from, what is it? Our era was the mall, and now it's online stores, So we evolve.
Yeah, and I think on that note, that's a wrap.
All right. Thank you for listening again. Thank you for everyone listening in if you got this far, and for the likes and the follows and for the rude comments. We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.